The big conversation right now is about the Living History textbook and why the education minister finally decided to speak out after so much public reaction. Many Nigerians first heard about this issue online, where people began to say that a certain history book had been approved for schools and that it did not represent some parts of Nigeria's story properly. As the discussion grew, emotions also grew, because history is not just another school subject. History connects to identity, culture, and how young people understand where the country is coming from and where it is going. The minister stepped forward to calm the situation and make one thing clear: according to the ministry, the book is not approved for use in Nigerian schools. Before we go deeper into the gist, please like this video and subscribe so you do not miss important updates and real-time analysis like this. Now, let us look at why this story became so serious so quickly. In Nigeria, once a topic touches on culture or history, people pay close attention. Many viewers felt worried because they believed students might be learning from a book that does not tell the full national story. Others believed the issue was being exaggerated online. The minister's message was meant to reduce confusion and remind schools that only officially reviewed materials should be used in classrooms. This is important because education policies are meant to protect students and ensure that learning is balanced and accurate. One thing many people did not notice is how fast information travels today. A single post online can reach thousands of people in minutes. By the time the government responds, many people may already believe the story is true. That is why the Education Ministry spoke firmly. They wanted to stop panic and encourage people to verify information before reacting strongly. This shows how digital conversations now influence how leaders communicate with citizens. Another part of the gist is about trust. When parents hear that something is wrong with a school textbook, they naturally become concerned. They start asking questions about what their children are being taught. The minister's clarification was not only about one book, it was also about reassuring parents and teachers that there is a process in place for reviewing educational materials. That process exists to protect quality and fairness in the classroom. If you listen carefully to the tone of the statement, you will notice that it was not only defensive. It also sounded like an invitation for Nigerians to think more deeply about how history is written and taught. Nigeria is a country with many cultures, languages, and traditions. Writing one history book that makes everyone feel represented is not an easy task. That is why debates like this appear again and again over time. Many viewers focus only on whether the book was approved or not, but the deeper issue is representation. People want to see their stories included in national history. They want to feel that their culture matters. When they believe something is missing, they speak out quickly. This shows that Nigerians care strongly about education and identity. Let us also talk about the timing of the minister's response. It came after days of online discussions and growing attention from the public. That tells us something important: leaders today are listening more closely to what citizens say online. Public conversations now shape how and when officials respond. This is different from many years ago when news traveled slowly and official statements took longer to appear. Another angle to consider is the role of publishers and authors. Writing history is a complex responsibility. Authors must decide what to include, what to explain, and how to present events in a way that is clear for students. Sometimes misunderstandings happen when readers see only small parts of a book instead of the full content. That is why many analysts say it is important to read and review materials carefully before forming strong opinions. This controversy also reminds us of past debates about education in Nigeria. There have been times when history was not given enough attention in schools, and many people felt that students were losing connection with the nation's past. Recently, there has been a renewed effort to bring history back into classrooms. Because of that, any news about history textbooks quickly becomes a national conversation. Think about it this way: education is one of the strongest tools any country has. The stories students read today will shape how they see Nigeria tomorrow. That is why the government wants to ensure that textbooks go through proper checks before they reach classrooms. It is not only about facts, It is about balance, unity, and understanding. At this point in the gist, let me remind you again to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps bring more real-time news discussions and deep analysis that go beyond headlines. Now, let us go deeper into why many Nigerians reacted emotionally. History is personal. People see their ancestors, traditions, and struggles reflected in history books. If they feel those stories are not included, it can feel like their identity is being ignored. Even when misunderstandings happen, the emotions are real. That is why conversations about history often become intense, even when officials later clarify the facts. The minister's statement also carried another message: avoid spreading unverified information. This is a lesson not only for this situation but for many future discussions. In the digital age, everyone has the power to share news instantly, but that power comes with responsibility. Checking facts before sharing helps prevent unnecessary tension. Another interesting point is how this issue shows the connection between education and national unity. Nigeria is diverse, and that diversity is a strength. But it also means that educational materials must be created carefully to reflect many voices. When controversies happen, they remind policymakers to keep improving the system and listening to feedback from the public. Some people believe that even though the book was not approved, the debate itself might lead to positive changes. When citizens ask questions, it encourages transparency. Ministries may share more details about how textbooks are evaluated, which could help build public confidence in the future. Let us also talk about the role of teachers. Teachers depend on approved materials to guide their lessons. When confusion spreads online, it can create uncertainty in classrooms. That is another reason why the ministry moved quickly to clarify the situation. They wanted teachers to feel confident about the materials they use. Another layer of this gist is how quickly narratives can form online. Some viewers saw only short clips or small parts of the story and created strong opinions from them. Others waited for official clarification before reacting. This difference in reaction shows how people consume information differently today. From a broader perspective, this situation highlights the importance of communication between government agencies and citizens. When communication is clear, misunderstandings reduce. When communication is slow, rumors can grow. The minister's response is an example of how leaders are trying to adapt to faster news cycles. Many viewers have also asked whether this controversy will lead to changes in how textbooks are reviewed. While no official changes have been announced, discussions like this often encourage ministries to look closely at existing systems. Public attention can become a catalyst for improvement. Another thing worth noting is how this story has brought history back into national conversation. For many years, people complained that history was not given enough importance in education. Now, even though the topic is controversial, it has encouraged Nigerians to talk about history again, which may inspire more interest among students and educators. As the gist continues, remember that debates like this are not only about disagreement. They can also be opportunities for learning and growth. When people share different perspectives, it helps the nation move toward a more inclusive understanding of its past. Some analysts believe that this moment shows a shift in how Nigerians engage with education topics. Instead of waiting for official news, many citizens now participate actively in discussions. This can be powerful when done respectfully and responsibly. Let us also consider the emotional side of the story. Many people felt protective of their cultural heritage. Others felt that the controversy was being exaggerated. Both reactions come from a place of concern for the country's future. Understanding that helps us see why the conversation became so widespread. As we reach the middle of this long talk, please take a second to like this video and subscribe. It helps the channel grow and keeps you updated with more clear and balanced news discussions. Moving forward, the big question is what happens next. For now, the ministry has made its position clear, and schools have been advised to follow official guidelines when selecting textbooks. But the larger conversation about representation in history education will likely continue. Nigerians will keep asking how history can be taught in a way that promotes unity while respecting diversity. Another interesting observation is how younger audiences are engaging with this topic. Many students have joined online discussions, sharing their thoughts about what they want to learn in school. This shows that education debates are not only for policymakers, they involve the entire society. Some viewers may wonder why controversies like this seem to happen often. The reason is simple: education is always evolving. As society changes, the way history is written and taught also changes. New perspectives appear, and older narratives are reviewed again. This process can be challenging, but it is also a sign of growth. The minister's clarification may have reduced confusion, but it has also opened space for deeper reflection. Nigerians are now talking not only about one book but about the entire system of history education. That kind of national conversation can lead to stronger policies and better understanding in the long run. As we come closer to the end of this gist, think about your own experience with history. What stories stood out to you? What lessons shaped your understanding of Nigeria? Conversations like this remind us that education is a shared responsibility between government, educators, parents, and students. In conclusion, the Living History textbook controversy is more than a trending topic. It is a reflection of how deeply Nigerians care about education, identity, and the stories that define the nation. The minister's statement has helped clarify facts, but the broader discussion about representation and unity will likely continue. This moment shows the power of public conversation and the importance of verifying information before reacting. If you found this breakdown helpful, please like this video and subscribe to the channel for more real-time news analysis and engaging discussions. Stay informed, stay thoughtful, and keep the conversation respectful as Nigeria continues to shape its educational future.